Hello, Anteaters! This is ATV here with Zot Thoughts. My name's Lelani and Konatsu, and this is
Timothy Brewer, and today we're going to be debating, is college worth it?
Yes, today's topic, college. Is it worth it? Why not hear from a couple of college students, am I right?
Yep.
What year are you again?
I'm a first year.
And your major?
I'm a film and media studies major.
All right, I am a second year biosci major, so what is your stance on whether or not it's worth it?
I think it's worth it, mainly because socially, I think I've learned a lot, and I feel like, honestly, UCI is really fun. I feel like I have to create my own fun sometimes, but overall, I think it's worth it, and education, obviously.
I think so. I agree, that college is worth it. However, I will say that if you're okay with a career that doesn't necessarily require it, there are circumstances in which I think it would not be worth it for some people.
Yeah.
Just because college, it does build valuable life experiences that you really can't quite get anywhere else. But if you're doing something where you truly don't need it and it would be more of a financial burden than anything, I feel like it's why would you do that to yourself? Because you're not particularly going into a field that you're going to be able to make it up, you know?
Yeah, I feel like people's goals, it really depends on what you want to do in life.
Yeah, because for me, it would be worth it because I do want to be a surgeon. It'd be pretty crazy to say college isn't worth it as someone who wants to be a surgeon.
Yeah.
But I also recognize that that's not what everyone wants to do. If people are more, they are dedicated to a job where it's you don't necessarily need that and it would be more of a drag, totally. Why would you put yourself in that position? You can get other life experiences doing other things. There are avenues that I haven't explored, like trade school,
Yeah. Wait, what do you even do in trade school? Is that
I think it's a fast express route to whatever career. I think mechanics, and I heard dental assistants. I don't know though. Don't quote me on that one.
That's low-key cool.
I agree. And then there's community college too, which is it's a really affordable option, and it's pretty good because you get an excellent quality of education. But I do think that the experience isn't quite the same as going to 4-year and having that experience of being a freshman living in the dorms, because you can transfer, right? But you're a freshman once. And
yeah, I feel like freshman year really makes college.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been here for 1 year, so I can't know everything there. But I feel like dorming is one of the best things, but it's also disgusting.
Yeah,
as the horror stories I've heard.
As a second year, to me, it was I realize now that freshman year was a tutorial on living, because first and foremost, I did have a terrible roommate, unhygienic, just rude, all around terrible. But it taught me I can deal with a lot. If I can deal with that, what can't I tolerate? And it taught me a lot about asserting boundaries, because before I was really timid, and then it got to the point where I'd be you need to shower.
Oh my God.
But, it was just a learning experience, and I think that without it, I wouldn't be who I am today,
That makes sense. I feel well, in my dorm, I live in Black housing, so I feel with my friends, we've all kind of adopted each other's personalities, and it's been getting so bad. I'll start my friends to other people, and they won't get it, and
That's
it's I'm sorry.
Real.
Yeah, I started saying Gangatron all of a sudden. Never in my life have I ever thought about even saying that.
Inside jokes are amazing, and again, living in dorms is just a really good way of making super good lifelong friends. But also there are other experiences in life where you don't necessarily need to go to college for that. If you live in for example, community housing, my sister, she isn't really, sure if she wants to go to college, and for her, knowing her personality, I think I totally would get it if she wasn't, going to immediately do that. Same, I also have friends in community colleges, and they're yeah, the experiences aren't the same, but we like it. And that's totally, excellent. Everyone has their own path.
Yeah, that is true. I love that. I love seeing, what people want to do in their lives. So that's, my favorite question to ask. Because I feel it tells you so much about a person.
Literally. Oh, my God. I love whenever I meet someone, and, I'm kind of what do you want to do? And they tell me, and it's oh.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but you know what? I like it. That's how I feel people are about me sometimes. I have the heart of a humanities major, but...
Yeah, when you told me that, I was kind of gagged. What type of surgeon do you want to be?
Orthopedic surgeon. Oh my God.
Cool.
I love bones. I've loved bones my entire life. I've always collected them. And when I was younger, I would always be watching hip replacement surgery and stuff Yes.
Yeah, I used to watch plastic surgery like
Yeah.
videos on YouTube.
Dude, every time they pop up on TikTok.
Yeah, I used to be in middle school in my science class watching like people get surgeries.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's so crazy because I'm literally a film major now. Like
That's so
I don't know
funny.
why I was watching that.
You know what? The heart wants what it wants. That's all I have to say.
It does. I was in my Grey's Anatomy era though.
Real? Oh my
Yeah.
God, dude. Medical shows, even though they're not accurate to real life, they have some of the best drama of all TV. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen Dr. House, but oh my God.
I feel like my mom
Real
used to
ones
watch
know.
that.
But yeah, it's Dr. TV is something else.
Yeah.
On to the next topic. Wait, what did we say it would be?
That's a good question. I think we said like, is UCI socially
Oh,
dead?
yes, it's socially, what is the social life at UCI like? Because there is a preconceived notion that UCI is socially dead. How do you feel about that?
I agree, but I disagree at the same time. Like, it's like a battle in my head because, like, on the weekends, I feel like it's so dead here because everyone goes home. I feel like during the weeks, like, I see more people out and about. But honestly, I think it's what you make of it. Like, I have to make my own, like, plans most of the time.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that, like, when I got here and everyone was saying that, I was kind of like scared, but then I started like making friends and like I made friends that through events, and then we had a bunch of events going on. So like I think that if you make an effort to like find events or like host them yourself, then of course you're gonna find people who will flock to that and not be socially dead. It's just a matter of like making, exactly as you said, making the most of it.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people just like hate having fun. Because the amount of noise complaints I've gotten.
Oh my God.
I got a noise complaint like 2 weeks ago at like 10 o'clock because I was playing music.
That's crazy.
Like I feel like people hate me so much because why don't you want me to be happy?
Real. No, I remember one time I literally fell in my room and it was one singular fall and I got a noise complaint. I'm like,
be so for real. Like I know you're awake right now. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, it wasn't even before quiet hours, but they added me in the public group chat like, room whatever I was in, I kind of forgot. Please do not be making so much noise. It is late at night. And it was like 9:30. I was like,
be so for real.
I fell. It's not like I was tap dancing, but
like if you want to be invited, just say that.
Right? Literally, like, but yeah. And then there are a bunch of like social things on UCI that make it like unique to UCI, like Peter drops, you know?
Yeah.
Like where it's like that's a pretty interesting social thing that happens and it's like builds community. But I think people are like, but those are just Peter drops. Like, that's just expected. But it's like, no, that's a really cool and interesting part of the social culture at UCI.
Yeah. I feel like clubs, too. Like, I didn't realize, like, how much, like, clubs, like, are important in social life until I went to one, like, 2 days ago because I got a new RA because my RA quit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But I feel like, low-key, I feel like my RA quit because he hated us. But that's a topic for a different day.
I had an RA that did not like being an RA, and she would flat out say, I don't like being an RA. This isn't what I expected. And because of it, like, there were so many situations in which I was like, I really need your help right now. And she'd be like, yeah. Maybe no. No, you don't. You're a big girl. You can handle this. I'll be like, okay.
Yeah. I feel like an RA really makes, like, a dorm. Because I went to like a study group in a different dorm. I was like, oh my God, this is what RAs are supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like she really just gave us like a bunch of free snacks to study here.
Dude, 100%. Like I went to my friend's dorm during freshman year and I'd only had my RA. And like she's a nice person, but again, not interested in being an RA, not about that life. And it was just like, I went to the friend's dorm and there were like decorations. RA came out and introduced himself to us. It was like really friendly. I was like, wow.
Like, this is nice.
This is
let me tap in.
I'll be visiting more often.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
But yeah, no. I think that like this kind of topic is also kind of more relevant to the college experience too, because it's like depending on how your experience is with your first year at college and like in general your experience living on college campus, it will depend on whether or not the experience is worth it. Because I was in a dorm where the RA didn't necessarily want to be an RA and I had a pretty terrible roommate, it got to the point where like I had to take it to really high management, even though it should have been something that was resolved by the RA. You know, which isn't like, it's not a good experience, but it did teach me like how to get what I need out of life and how to like assert myself, because I've always been very passive.
Yeah. I feel like a roommate really makes it really makes your college experience.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like me and my roommate are cool. Like, we're not necessarily best friends, but it's like a good balance, you know? Like, we
Yeah.
can go to parties together and we can also like study together.
Yeah, I think that's the way, like, that's what I would want at least.
Yeah.
I remember, like, we downright hated each other by the end of last year. Like, it was pretty insane. And it, like, to me, I was like, wow, this would have been resolved if I was, like, much more assertive. So from that, I learned, like, to be more assertive. And it's, like, it's sad that I had to learn, but it's one of those things where it's, like, it sucked in the moment, but it's so funny in hindsight. Like, I get to tell people, like, yeah, my roommate was, like, he didn't own deodorant. I straight up looked one time. He did not own deodorant.
That's actually kind of sick.
Yeah.
Like, that would actually make me nauseous.
Yeah, dude. There was a point where I called in the RA, because he would bring in alcohol, right? And I called in the RA, and she would not step foot into the room because it was so bad. She just sat by the door like this. I was like, this is what I'm doing. Oh, wait. Redact that name, please. I didn't mean to. Anyways, yeah, it would be like, RA, please, have mercy upon me. Have mercy for what I'm going through in my plight. But yeah, it got better.
That's good. Do you have a roommate now?
I have 2 roommates now. Things are pretty good overall. There's been recent drama, but I will say, like, it's not on me. So they can do what they want.
I love drama when it's not me.
At first I was like, this is being targeted towards me, but I kind of have nothing to do with it. So, it's not my drama. I'm gonna let them the cats are gonna be fighting, you know?
I love like being an outsider and like connecting stuff and be like, ooh, they're beefing right now. Like, I just love doing that, especially like sometimes I like sit in the Anteatery and look at like certain friend groups and see who's not sitting with who. Dude,
I was on a date one time and we were sitting at this table and there was a couple next to us, and I think that they were actively going over their divorce papers. Like literally they were discussing the terms of their divorce, and the entire time we were dead silent, like.
Yeah,
you know?
Sometimes I have to tell my friends to be quiet so I can like eavesdrop on someone's
Literally.
conversation.
There's nothing better than some juicy drama out in public when you're not expecting it. It's like, oh, real life reality TV. Amazing.
I was in Brandywine a couple days ago, and this girl was spilling so much tea.
Oh my
like, I was by myself too. I was trying to be mysterious because I have days when I like try and be mysterious and like, I don't know. But she was just going in on someone. I was like, oh my God.
That's crazy.
Like, that's actually kind of sick.
I love that. I love hearing random people just like complaining, because I'm like, you know what? You're right. That person is so wrong for that. Even though I know nothing about the situation, I'm like, you're making a compelling point right now.
Yeah.
I can't help but support.
Wow, like, so I have a new op, basically.
Literally. Like, I respect it. I just think it's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic. Wait, we had another one planned out.
I low-key don't remember. I feel like we talked about so many things before this.
I know. I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Okay, let's talk about a moral dilemma. I want to do that.
Okay.
Okay, have you heard the one where it's like you see a train and it's headed towards like 8 people, but you could pull a lever and make it go on another track that's only gonna hit 1 person, but that person is the person closest to you in life?
I'm sorry, but I'm killing the 8 people. I feel like I feel guilty about it, but I won't know them.
I feel like it depends on who the favorite person is, because like if I'm not choosing it and they choose like, okay, closest person means closest person. It's gonna be my mother. No.
Yeah, if it's my mom, like,
I couldn't do it. I'm
but
sorry.
8 people are gonna have to die.
I'm sorry, society. It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good, my mom. And I wouldn't technically be doing anything. Which, is that a crime to not do anything?
I don't think so.
Because like the train was already going towards me.
Yeah, so I feel like I wouldn't feel guilty because it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I was busy untying my mom.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
But at the same time, why are 8 people on the track in the first place?
What dastardly villain would do such a thing? Tie 8 people to a track?
I know. And
Dude.
how are the 8 people getting caught up? There's 8
Yeah.
of you guys.
Dude, I remember I saw this one dilemma on TikTok that was like, it was the most dastardly, vile, like, who would think of such an evil concept? Where it was like, there's no way of having either stance. I forget what it was. It was something about like, your sister has cancer and like there's a boyfriend who cheats, and like so many people were involved that by the end I was like, this will ruin multiple lives. I think that those are so funny.
Yeah, low-key same.
Because it's like,
Also, I love when people are like, ask those questions like, would you rather be like deaf or blind? Or
Yeah.
like, What's the other one?
Mute?
Have no hands or like no legs or
Okay,
no arms.
what would you rather?
I would rather have like no arms.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because I feel like I could do a lot of things with my feet. Like if I really like wanted to.
I feel like I have dexterous feet, but also like the inconvenience of learning it at this point would make it not worth it. I'm like, you know what? I would rather just not have legs.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I just would want to be able to run. I mean, I don't like running, but I'm saying like if I was like listening to music, then I would like want to be able to like move, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of crafts that like I love to knit, you know, and you have to be really dexterous. And I'm like, could I learn that with my feet? Probably not.
That's true.
But
I forgot about that, like actually like having to do things. Because I'm just thinking about like moving around my daily life.
Yeah.
I feel like my legs would be more important.
that does make sense. I like, especially on this campus, it is not very accessible. Like, I'm gonna be so real. There are accommodations. They're not particularly good.
Yeah.
I think there are buildings, like, I know that some of the dorms in Middle Earth straight up don't have elevators or like, you know, anything other than stairs. So it would be pretty like difficult. But yeah, in that hypothetical, yes, I would rather keep my arms just because, you know, I like being able to be very intricate with my hands, and I don't, like, I could learn, but I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. Okay, this is one that people ask me all the time, but would you rather know when you die or how you die?
Ooh, oh my God, that's a really hard one. How I die.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like when. Only because I was in like the shower, because the shower is where like I do a lot of my thinking, which sounds kind of insane.
No, it's real.
But I almost gave myself a panic attack like 2 days ago because I was thinking like every single breath you take, like you're closer to your last one. And then also like, just like every second that passes, like you're getting closer to death. Like you're literally born
Yeah.
to die. Lana Del Rey. But that's like, it's just so crazy. Like, wow, like I'm really gonna die.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, I was like really existential, and I would be like, wait, every second that passes is basically done, so do we even have free will since everything that's happening is like basically already in the past? But I'm over that now, and I'm like, you know what? I would rather not know when, because like I am a person, like I get test anxiety, right? I get like whenever big things are happening, I get anxiety beforehand. And so it's like one of those things where I feel like as I got closer to the day, I would start just genuinely tweaking. I'd be like, I might die today. Only 4 more days, 27 more hours. You know, like I would just like genuinely be losing my mind if I knew when. But if I knew how, it's like, okay, I can just be really careful around these things. And it would make me tweak to be around those things.
Yeah.
But less so of knowing like you for sure are going to die on this day. It's more like, okay, I know I'm going to die to this thing, I just don't know when, you know?
I feel like I'd want to know when only because then I do literally everything up until that point. So I feel like if I did die, I'd be like, okay, like I've literally done everything.
Yeah, you can plan really well that way.
Yeah.
I don't know, it depends on what it is, because if it's like a plane could crash into your house, but if it's something where it's like you would have to be doing something really specific, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna plan all my stuff around me doing those things or like having to interact with those things. But it does depend on what the death is.
Yeah, I feel like if it was something gruesome,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, oh.
Like, imagine like you will be axe murdered. That would give me lifelong paranoia.
But I feel like that'd be fun. Like, oh, who's gonna kill me? Like,
Yeah.
let's see. Who
Make it
hates
a
me?
little
Who hates
game.
me?
Dude, I'd be so like pissed if it was someone random. I'd be like, oh, I guess it's not someone that important in my
Yeah,
life.
I would want it to be like a lifelong enemy. Like,
Literally, a
I'd
mortal
want to
enemy.
like build up the suspense.
Make it dramatic.
Yeah.
I want theatrics. I want my end to be, it will either be peaceful or it will be insane. Oops. Or it will be insane. And it will be something where people are like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, like if I was like gonna get murdered, like I want it to be like really bad.
Yeah.
But I still want to
Oh
be
my God, one of those
recognizable.
true crime TikToks. Dude, my family would be like not happy about people talking about it, but I would live on through the stories.
Yeah, that's what I love. Like,
Her
although
legs
I'd
were
be
cut
dead,
off.
I'd be probably really famous. Like,
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just my perspective. Going out with
Yeah.
a bang wouldn't be so awful.
I feel like it just like matched the energy.
Yeah, literally. Live great, end great. Live on
Yeah.
through history.
It's so crazy. So if you're gonna get murdered, how do you want to get murdered? That's actually a crazy question.
I would want it to be immediate. But, you know, as much as we would love to continue talking about axe murderers, we are unfortunately all out of time. So we would like to thank
the Film and Media Studies Department.
And make sure you follow us on our socials on YouTube and Instagram. And do we have a TikTok? At ATV. Yay! Bye. Bye, Zotties.